Welcome to, oops, got my microphone backwards. Welcome to another episode of our live stream, My Journey to the Trinity. My name is Hussein. Hope you're doing well, having a good night or day, or some of you, I know it's some usual folks are already in church. So, but yeah, I was watching an interview with one of the leaders of HAM. I'm trying not to say it because I don't want to get in trouble. Hello, Rons. God bless you. God, peace of the Lord Jesus to you too, my friend. So I was watching this interview with this guy, and I don't have because I lived in Gaza. I knew some of the people that were members, of Ham Sandwich, and it's just that they were everywhere. I mean, so many, half of the people in Gaza at least voted for Ham Sandwich to take over the Gaza Strip. So there's lots of people that supported them, but I knew some of the people that not the people themselves, but I knew some of their relatives. There was one kid whose grandfather was a very famous leader of Ham Sandwich, and he used to come to my house. In fact, he watched the movie Passion of the Christ at my house, and he was really impacted by the movie Passion of the Christ, and he used to come to my house. I mean, we were friends and everything, but then he just all of a sudden quit, stopped coming. And I don't know if he was told not to come anymore. I don't know what happened, but he stopped coming. So anyway, that's so anyway, I don't I don't know exactly what's going on right now with these guys. And I don't know this guy, Ghazi Hamad. Ghazi Hamad, he's one of the guys that's in Qatar living extravagantly while their people suffer back in Gaza. So they interviewed him, and I thought it was I don't know, I thought it was a pretty decent interview. This guy, Jeremy Diamond. Now, with a name like Diamond, I suspect he's Jewish, but I'm not sure. But he looks Arab, actually. That beard and his his jaw and stuff. He looks like an Arab if you look at him. I look at his eyes and stuff. Doesn't that guy look like an Arab, the reporter? But he's actually a very good reporter. He does ask some good questions. And so what had happened is that Israel had struck the leaders of Ham Sandwich in Qatar, and they ended up killing some people, but not the leaders. And this guy right here was one of or they seem to think he was an intended target, and he did not get it. Ham sandwiched. So anyway, let's just listen a little bit to this. I think this guy does a good job of interviewing. I'm very skeptical of CNN, and I hate CNN, but this guy seems to do a pretty good job. So let's listen a little bit.
That attack.
I think it is miracle because the rockets are very close to us. We are under target, and it was
miracle that he wasn't, wiped out.
The rockets were directed to the place, but we are not in the place which was targeted. Alhamdulillah.
It struck a different room, is what you're saying?
We are in different place, yes. Maybe they have misinformation about the situation.
I do too.
The target is so heavy. They launched more than 12 rockets against the office of Dr. Khalil, and they destroyed completely. They killed 5 people there. It was a brutal attack on us. So I think it was long and very.
You know, what's interesting is listening to this guy talk about a brutal attack. Okay, after what they did on October 7th, and the fact that they use the word brutal when it's about missile strikes and
Strong message to us and even to Qatari that we are not interested in negotiation. We want to kill, we want to destroy, we want to assassinate. This is our own policy to handle the whole situation.
Do you feel safe in Doha?
No one can be safe. Israel, I think that is a country of terrorism.
Israel's a country of terrorism. Okay, so with everything that they've done and continue to do, and what their charter, what their charter says, let's just look at here, Yale University. Did they get help from Yale University to write this? So okay. 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 Injustice with Islamic resistance movements is one of the links in the chain of the struggle against the Zionist invaders. It goes back to 1939 to the emergence of the martyr Izzeddin Qassam and his brethren, the fighters of the Muslim Brotherhood. It goes on to reach out and become another chain. It includes the struggle of the Palestinians and Muslim Brotherhood in the 1948 war, jihad operations of the Muslim Brotherhood. Objectives, okay, has disappeared. Okay, the movement found itself at a time when Islam has disappeared from life. Thus, rules shook, concepts were upset, values changed, and people took control. Oppression and darkness prevailed. As for the objectives, they are fighting. They are the fighting against the false, defeating, and vanquishing. It is that justice will prevail, homelands be retrieved, and from its mosques would voice the muezzin emerge, declaring, and if Allah had not prevented men, the other one, verily the earth had been corrupted. Surah Al-Baqarah, chapter 2, 251. Homeland, okay, Muslim land, in case the enemy should tread on Muslim land, resisting the enemy, okay. Okay, there's lots of different. A Muslim woman has a role no less important than a Muslim man, and she is the maker of men. Her role in guiding and educating new generations. The enemies have realized the importance of her role. They consider that if they are able to direct and bring her up in the way they wish, far from Islam, they should have won the battle. Okay. Woman in the home, a fighting family, whether she's mother or sister, plays an important role. Islamic art of liberation. Okay. So anyway, this is it is an Islamic movement, and and it follows Islam to the T. So CNN is, I hate I hate CNN, like I said, but I kind of think that this guy did a pretty good job interviewing our friend here.
Country of or state of horrific action, genocide. They want to kill and to kill and to kill to prove that they are the super power in the Middle East. So no one can give guarantees that Israel could not do it again here in Qatar
You know, he's talking about Israel there.
or do it in other places.
When you were targeted, at that moment, you and other senior Hamas leaders were reviewing the latest ceasefire proposal from the United States. 2 weeks later, where do ceasefire negotiations stand now?
Now everything now is frozen because that Israel is not interested in negotiation. They are not interested now to have good contact even with Egypt or with Qatar or to achieve a peaceful agreement for the ceasefire in Gaza Strip.
So how do you view the United States' role and specifically President Trump's role going forward in these negotiations, in the process of ending
And we
the war?
suppose the United States to be honest and a neutral mediator. The Americans, they lost their credibility. All the time they support Israel on the account of the Palestinian people, and they never fulfill their promises. This is the problem of the Americans. They could not prove that they are honest and neutral mediator.
This latest American proposal calls for you to release all the hostages, living and dead, in exchange for thousands of Palestinian prisoners, an immediate ceasefire, and the start of negotiations to end the war. Why not take that
Look,
deal?
I think we have to now to reach a comprehensive deal. We want to finish the war.
I know, but I'm asking you
We
about
want-
the
we
specific
want-
American
okay,
proposal, if you
look,
could answer.
We first of all, we insisted to go to the comprehensive deal to
So there's this comprehensive deal to kind of sidestep the deal that's being offered. And he won't comment on this because he wants this comprehensive deal. And so he's kind of like, doing the belly dance, to avoid answering the guy's good question. Why not accept the American proposal? I mean, that's the best that they're going to get. They're not going to get anything better.
in all the hostages, either alive or dead. And we said frankly in all the hostages, either alive or dead. And we said frankly we can return them in 24 hours. But Israel, they refused. The main
Well, they have conditions for ending the war. Their conditions are
okay.
Israel's conditions for ending the war. They want Hamas to be out of power and they want Hamas to disarm. Are you willing to abandon power in Gaza and lay down your weapons?
Look, first for the power in Gaza, the authority in Gaza, we have an agreement with all Palestinian factions and even with the Egyptians. And I think that the Egyptians, they play a good role and send this proposal to different countries and even approved by the Arabic League that, okay, we can have a technocrat, we have kind of neutral and professional committee for rule in Gaza. Okay, we finish it. Regarding the disarm of Gaza.
Okay, but he didn't say about them abdicating their role in Gaza. They, on the one hand, in 2005, it was kind of George Bush's fault. George Bush Senior, Junior, or is it Senior? I don't know, the younger one. He was so impressed with democracy. We need to have democracy, and I was there in 2005. When he was like pushing these elections, says elections are good and elections and everything, and all these liberals, all the communists of CNN and New York Times, they were so excited. Yeah, elections, and Hamas won. Hamas won the elections, but Fatah would not let them take control. Fatah would not give them control. So what Hamas did a year later is they held a coup. They did a violent coup and took over the Gaza Strip in 2006. And they have been in control of Gaza ever since. They didn't have any more elections. That's it. So, and it was a violent. I remember I was cowering in my bathroom in my apartment because I was in the kind of the last stronghold for them to conquer before in order to take over the Gaza Strip. And they did. They did it, and I was there. I remember I was sitting on my bed in my bedroom, and then I felt my bed like it moved. And then you start hearing kids screaming, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And what happened is that Hamas here, they put like a ton of explosives under two of the main security agencies of Fatah. Fatah is Yasser Arafat's party. And they killed like 50 guys in one thing. And so that was the point at which they took over. You know, they won at that point. And I guess Iran was pulling puppet strings, but it was vicious.
This arm of Hamas. I think this is, we have to understand very well that the arm of Hamas is a legitimate and legal weapons which use all the time against the occupation. It is not a terrorist weapon.
But are you willing to
It's not, he's saying Hamas is not a terrorist organization.
disarm if it is in the context of a process towards building a Palestinian state?
If there is a Palestinian state, we'll be part. We will be engaged. We will be
But the entire
integrated.
world, with all due respect, sir, the
Okay, he asked him, are you willing to disarm if it's part of building a Palestinian state? And he says, if there's no Palestinian state, we want to be engaged. That's not what he asked. He asked, are you willing to disarm? They won't, okay? Because Islam doesn't let them disarm, you know?
entire world is saying they want no role for Hamas in post-war governance of Gaza.
Look,
Do you
Even the wimpy French and the wimpy English, and the English did not used to be wimpy, but they're wimpy now. Or at least Keir Starmer, you know, their leader is, you know, another Chamberlain. Is there a thing called a Chamberlain pot? Yeah. He's a Chamberlain, you know, Chamberlain is the one who came back from negotiations with Hitler and said, oh, he wants peace, he wants peace. Yeah, he wanted a piece of Czechoslovakia, he wanted a piece of Austria, he wanted a piece of Poland. That's what they were saying back then. But anyway, the current leader of England is the same way, Keir Starmer. He's a Chamberlain. He, you know, he wants to, what's the word? Appease Hamas, you know, and, you know, I remember, you know, what did they say? It says, appeasing the crocodile is feeding him so that he will eat you last. But he will eat you last. And so, like the French, the British, the Australians, you know, they all got these weak leaders. And so, yeah, okay.
disagree with that?
we agree. Yeah, no, we
But even they, those wimps, like Macron and his husband, I mean, his wife, you know, they are against Hamas, or at least they say they are. But I bet you they can be bought. You know, I bet you they can be bought or, you know, deluded into accepting Hamas, giving Hamas some kind of role.
agree for and you're committed to rule Gaza. We have no problem.
Right. So, and as
But
part of
I
that,
think-
Hamas will play no
I
part,
think-
according
but
to the Arab League, according to President
Okay,
Abbas, according to the United States, according to France.
Let me also to explain that this is a Palestinian issue. That some external powers, they want to impose something against our interest. Hamas is part of the Palestinian fabric. You could not exclude Hamas. But as I said again and again, regarding the ruling of Gaza, we are ready to be out of the ruling of Gaza. We have no problem with this.
Hamas recently announced that Israeli hostages have been spread
We're ready to be out of the ruling of Gaza, but they're not willing to leave Gaza, meaning they're going to be the puppet masters underground with their tunnels and with their money and with their weapons.
out throughout Gaza City, ahead of and amid Gaza City, ahead of the hostages have been spread out throughout Gaza City. Hamas recently announced that Israeli hostages have been spread out throughout Gaza City, ahead of and amid now this planned Israeli invasion of Gaza City. Is your intention to use those Israeli hostages as human shields?
No, we never use these people.
They use people as human shield. They use old women. They use old men. They use young children. They use everybody. All of Gaza City Gaza Strip is a human shield to protect them underground, where they're feasting on United Nations provided rations.
as shields. No, we never use him. All the time we explain that we as Hamas, we use these people, or we deal with people according to the Islamic principles. And
Exactly. Exactly. According to Islamic principles. Exactly. That's the problem, is the Islamic principles.
values.
But it was quite clear in the statement from the Al-Qassam brigades, which
I think this is a false accusation against us.
This is a statement from the Al-Qassam brigades, Hamas's military wing. They said that in order to deter this Israeli military invasion, they are placing Israeli hostages strategically.
The hostages are spread everywhere.
But they are placing them around Gaza City and saying that if they die, it will be on Netanyahu's hands, correct?
There is a big dilemma in this. Israel now is going and now is going to destroy Gaza, to destroy everywhere, to kill people everywhere. Yeah, you know, in Gaza now, they're killing more than, this morning, more than 84 people. Yesterday, about 109 people were killed. In the last month, more than 3,000.
I understand. And when I speak with, and when I, sir, with all due respect,
how can you stop this?
With all due respect, when I speak with Israeli officials, I press them on all of these questions. I'm speaking with you right now, and I'm asking about Hamas's role. And Hamas just announced that it is holding these Israeli hostages in strategic locations around Gaza City, moving them above ground, while Israel is carrying out an invasion. Is the intention, hang on, is the intention to use these hostages as a human shield?
Israel should stop targeting the civilian, should stop targeting the
I mean, he sounds like a Harvard University professor or a CNN reporter. I mean, even though this guy's a CNN reporter, but he sounds like a CNN reporter, or like a, a Democrat, saying Israel should stop targeting the, I mean, they're using the Columbia University talking points, it's amazing.
Or to collapse the towers, or to destroy the towers everywhere. Now they send some technology to destroy all homes in Gaza, all towers in Gaza. What do you want to do after that? What Israel is doing now?
Get rid of you.
As I said, they want to demolish the whole Gaza, to destroy every hospital, mosque, school.
Hospital, mosque, and schools. Did Hamas use those hospitals, mosques, and schools as firing grounds from which to fire at Israel? Yes.
Schools, even churches, everywhere. How can you stop this madness in Gaza? How can you stop these?
He has to mention churches because he wants to get, Candace and to get, Europe on his side. And I think he succeeded.
Atrocities in Gaza.
It has been nearly 2 years now since your organization, Hamas, carried out the October 7th attack, killing nearly 1,200 people, most of them civilians. It unleashed the deadliest Israeli military response that Gaza has ever seen. More than 65,000 people have been killed in Gaza, tens of thousands more injured. Gaza has been decimated. Do you accept any responsibility for triggering so much death and destruction?
Look, to me, this is a big story. Now, the history did not begin on October 7th.
This is a strategy, and you hear it all the time. It's like the story didn't begin October 7th. It began in 1948 or 1939, just to avoid the responsibility for October 7th.
We spent 78 years under the occupation, under the humiliation, under oppression, under repression, under killing, under displacement. Now, why a war just focus on October 7th? What before October 7th is a result for the October 7th.
I understand what you are saying, that there is history that happened before October 7th. But before October 7th, Israel had never unleashed this level of death and destruction on Gaza before. How can you look at me with a straight face and tell me that you accept no responsibility whatsoever for what has happened in the 2 years since?
What is the option is left for the Palestinians to do? Yeah, and we waited for. So,
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you, sir, with all due respect, I'm asking you whether you accept any responsibility for the death and destruction that has followed since October 7th in Gaza.
This is the first time that Palestinians have shown sacrifice in this Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Since 1948 till now, 100,000 people were killed, 100,000
You know, he's saying the Palestinian people sacrifice, but they are the ones who are sacrificing them. No, they're not sacrificing themselves. They're underground feasting, but they're sacrificing the people above ground, you know. But he says the Palestinian people are sacrificing. Yeah, Hamas, are sacrificing the Palestinian people.
Palestinians were arrested.
But what
It
gives
is
you
not-
the
it is-
what gives you the right to decide that Palestinian women and children should be sacrificed on the altar of your resistance?
No, all the time we are sacrificing. We are fighting, not Hamas, the Fatah and People Front, Democratic Front.
But I'm
Islamic
asking you
Jihad.
about the
No, no,
civilian
look,
deaths in Gaza and what gives you the right to decide it's a price worth paying. That child can die. It's okay because
No,
it's in order to
look,
fulfill our
As
resistance.
Hamas, we are fighting for the interests of the people. We don't want our people to be killed. We don't want our people to suffer more and more. I think now, look, you know what is the benefit of October 7 now? Now, when the award now, if you look to the General Assembly yesterday, when about 194 people opened their eyes and looked to the atrocity, to brutality of Israel, and all of them, they condemned Israel. We waited for this moment for 77 years in order to open their eyes to say that there is occupation, there is suffering of the Palestinian people.
There's another word he's using, which is occupation. That's an interesting word because it's got a lot of different meanings. What does occupation mean? Okay, occupation is when a foreign country is kind of controlling a particular country. And for instance, they use it a lot about the West Bank. They call it the West Bank occupation. And they use it about Gaza too, even though Israel pulled out of Gaza in 2005. They are no longer in control of Gaza. And they pulled all their residents out. They had about 8,000. And I was there when they did this. And they pulled everything out, including their graves, because they didn't want their graves, the bodies of their dead relatives and stuff, to be desecrated, because that probably would have happened. But when he uses the word occupation, you got to be careful, because dumb journalists let them get away with it. Okay, dumb journalists. I'm talking about like New York Times journalists or left-wing journalists. They let them get away with this term occupation, but occupation means different things to different people. And it means different things to Americans than it means to this guy. To them, occupation is all of Israel. All of Israel is an occupation that must be removed. Okay. Now, if you talk to Fatah, they're going to say the occupation is just the West Bank. If you talk to different politicians there who are speaking to CNN, they're going to say the occupation is just the West Bank or just the Gaza Strip. But in reality, this guy, when he says occupation, he's talking about every inch of ground in Israel.
And we should end this occupation. I think this is a golden moment for the world to change the history. I think that now the world is a change. The history is a change now.
Sir, you were just saying that as a result of October 7th, you are seeing millions of people marching in the streets. You are seeing countries recognize Palestine as a state. You are seeing legitimacy for your people. And I'm asking you whether the price that Palestinian people have paid so far was worth it.
I know the price is so high, but I'm asking again, what is the option?
It's worth
What
it.
is the option left to the Palestinians? You know what? We waited for a peaceful process, for a peaceful means since 1993, since Oslo Agreement till now. But I think we got a big zeal.
Let me show you the words of your people. Okay, these are people in Gaza, and I want you to hear, because your own people in Gaza say that you do have responsibility for the situation there. I'd like to show you this.
رسالتنا لحماس أنه كفى مقامرة ومغامرة بنا. كفاكم يعني أنتم منفصلون عن الواقع.
Please watch.
I have seen
This is not it. There's more.
I have seen this
Sir,
video. Yes,
there is
yes.
more.
I have seen this video.
I would like you to. There are three people here. I would like you to hear their
I
voices.
know people are suffering. There are some people blame Hamas.
Why will you not listen to the voices of Palestinian people in Gaza?
Look, I know this is, but look, this is not the whole story. I know because this is because of the Israeli crimes in the Gaza Strip.
It seems that it seems that you don't want to hear the voices of people in Gaza who disagree with Hamas or who want to see Hamas removed from power.
But now,
Why won't you listen to their voices?
All the world, listen to me. All the world said yesterday in the General Assembly that October 7 is not a justification for Israel to commit genocide, to kill civilians.
But I'm asking you to respond to what these people are saying.
Look,
these people who want Hamas to surrender, lay down its weapons, and leave the Gaza Strip. What do you say to them?
No one asked Hamas to surrender. We will never surrender. We will never surrender.
Some of these people are asking Hamas to lay down their weapons and leave Gaza.
These people under abnormal circumstances. We put him under target and killing and massacre. What do you expect for people to say?
But many people would say, if you look at history, if you look at wars that have been fought, where overwhelming military force has been brought to bear, where tens of thousands of civilians have been killed, that you, as the adversary of Israel in this case, that you have a responsibility to do your part to end the suffering. And that would be to lay down your weapons.
We are working to end the suffering of people. Yani, Hamas was launched in 1987. All the time we are working for our people, not in October 7. Before that, all the time we are fighting and doing for the interest of our people. Now, the reaction of the occupation in brutality, in killing and massacre, you put this responsibility in the shoulder of Hamas?
I'm not putting all the responsibility on the shoulders of Hamas. I'm asking you whether you have any responsibility in this regard.
We are responsible to save our people, to protect our people, to do anything.
Top Israeli officials say that
really, they've been helping and protecting their people for so long.
Israelis cannot be safe unless Hamas is destroyed, right? That's their perspective. That if Hamas is allowed to continue to exist, that you will carry out October 7th style attacks again and again as long as you remain armed. Are they wrong?
We want to end the occupation.
Are they wrong?
We want to end the occupation. Who is a danger in this Israel? It's not Hamas. Hamas never, for example, acting against Egypt or Qatar or Saudi or American or British. I think we are against the occupation. That Hamas is a part of the Palestinian society, fighting for the Palestinian society, fighting for the Palestinian cause.
And so it sounds like you are saying what you said
don't put the problem on the shoulder of Hamas. No, I think
again, sir, when I speak with Israeli officials, I press them about what they are doing in Gaza. When I'm speaking with Hamas officials, I press them for your responsibility. And in the weeks after October 7th, you said we will do this again and again and again. There will be a second, a third, a fourth attack. With rhetoric like that, why should Israelis accept to live alongside an organization like Hamas?
Before October 7, do you know that there is a siege on Gaza for 17 years?
I'm very aware.
Do you know that before October 7, that in the West Bank, they're expanding settlements and building settlements, taking our lands?
By the way, Netanyahu says he was asked if he's going to respond to the what all those countries that recognize Palestine, like France, Germany, England, Australia, Canada, all the wimpy countries, the rich, protected by America countries. But they asked him if he was going to do anything, Netanyahu. He says he's going to announce it when he gets back to Israel. So it'll be interesting to say. I have two theories. One is he's going to take over the West Bank. He's just going to take it over, say it's ours. Number two, he's going to rebuild the temple. If it's one of those, you guys, you owe me $5. Okay, you can donate in many ways. So yeah, just watch and see if he doesn't do one of those.
Putting what's called gates in every Palestinian towns. So I think that October 7 is not a justification to do that, to kill and to commit massacres against the Palestinians.
My final question to you: how does this war end?
I think it is easy. I think Mr. Trump and the world could ask the Netanyahu in order to stop the war, to stop the genocide in Gaza.
Do you have any confidence that he will do that?
I don't know. I think we tested them many times, but I think it is not easy to trust Mr. Trump or to trust the American administration. All the time they put the glasses of Israel.
Okay. All right, so that's kind of what Hamas is saying about what's going on, and doesn't look like they have any plans to, you know, let go of power. Doesn't look like they have any plans to stop the resistance. They are more encouraged to do it, and he even said that it is the Islamic duty. So they're just doing what the Quran tells them, and there's not a lot of people who are resisting them. Not a lot of people are taking issue with them for doing that. So anyway, that was just kind of an interesting little interview I wanted to share with you. And let me just really quickly here go and check out the YouTube to make sure there's nothing I need to discuss with you. I'm always interested in behind veils, see if they have anything new about the Muhammad Hijab Aisha situation. All right. Nope, nothing today. So yeah, I know he's a scary looking guy. You can see the spirits. You can see the spirits controlling him. Really dangerous whenever you have somebody being super zealous of a religion or a cult. You got to be careful. Super zealous in a bad way, the way this guy was. So, all right, you guys. Well, I just want to do a short thing here. So appreciate you guys hanging out. And if you haven't done it, I encourage you to do it now. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. Jesus, help me. Jesus, forgive me. Jesus, come into my heart. He loves you. We love you, but more importantly, he loves you. So come to him and be freed of the lies in Jesus' name. Amen. So thank you for being with us.
If you have ever wondered why dull apologists lie so much, it's because on a rare occasion that they tell the truth. This happens.
One of the reasons I accepted Islam was the scientific miracles. I'll be honest with you. And now we know that this whole scientific miracles was absolute nonsense.
You're going to have to repeat that.
That the standard narrative has holes in it. That's what I'm going to say.